I could legally shoot you in self-defense, but I'd rather talk. Shall I call for a constable, or would you prefer to explain why you bushwhacked me?
Notice how Dan speaks, even in such a critical situation. In this lesson, we'll learn how to use formal, polite English, which will help you sound more educated and respectful in your own conversations. Let's watch and learn.
I could legally shoot you in self-defense, but I'd rather talk. Shall I call for a constable, or would you prefer to explain why you bushwhacked me?
Should I call for a constable, or will you explain why you've been following me all afternoon?
Promise not to attack me again.
Let's talk about what happened. Amelia thinks Michael is following her, and Michael says Amelia attacked him. Now, let's learn some key words and phrases from this segment.
I could legally shoot you in self-defense.
Self-defense means protecting yourself when someone hurts you. It's a serious legal term, but Michael is trying to sound calm and reasonable.
Shall I call for a constable?
Constable is an old-fashioned word for a police officer.
Or would you prefer to explain why you bushwhacked me?
Bushwhacked means to attack someone suddenly, often from a hiding place. For example, the robber bushwhacked the traveler. Can you think of another word for bushwhacked? Maybe ambushed or surprised. Before we continue with the next segment of the scene, let's watch the previous one again. Try to understand it without subtitles.
I could legally shoot you in self-defense, but I'd rather talk. Shall I call for a constable, or would you prefer to explain why you bushwhacked me?
Should I call for a constable, or will you explain why you've been following me all afternoon?
Promise not to attack me again.
Their conversation begins with some tension, but then turns friendly. Let's watch the next part of the dialogue.
When they looked a lot better before you mashed them up. Sorry, I meant no insult.
Why would you give me flowers?
To ease an awkward introduction.
Now, let's learn some key words and phrases from this segment.
Sorry, I meant no insult.
Nice polite apology. I meant no insult means I didn't try to offend you. Michael is saying he didn't intend to hurt her feelings. Today, we'd probably just say, sorry, I didn't mean to offend you, or sorry, I didn't mean it that way. But Michael's phrase sounds more formal and gentlemanlike. Before we continue with the next segment of the scene, let's watch the previous one again. Try to understand it without subtitles.
When they looked a lot better before you mashed them up. Sorry, I meant no insult.
Why would you give me flowers?
To ease an awkward introduction.
So, Michael gives Amelia flowers. But what is the reason of his actions? There's a lot of mystery here. Let's watch what happened next.
Shall I try again?
They're very nice, thank you.
You're most welcome.
You could have introduced yourself earlier.
I was anxious about how it might be received. Not entirely without reason.
Maybe I jumped the gun.
Learn some important words and phrases from this part.
You're most welcome.
Listen to how polite Michael is. Instead of just saying, "You're welcome," he says, "You're most welcome." Adding most makes it sound much more formal and polite. Try using this when you want to be extra polite.
Maybe I jumped the gun.
Jumped the gun. This means to act too quickly, before you know everything, like starting a race before hearing the starting gun. For example, I jumped the gun and bought tickets before checking the date. Let's watch this part again, this time without subtitles.
Shall I try again?
They're very nice, thank you.
You're most welcome.
You could have introduced yourself earlier.
I was anxious about how it might be received. Not entirely without reason.
Maybe I jumped the gun.
Michael and Amelia speak politely but with some humor. In British English, people often use polite phrases like, "Shall I try again?" or you're most welcome to sound friendly. Let's watch the next part.
I'm Amelia Rose.
I'm Michael Wiley. And I'm very much in need of your help.
What could a maid like me do for a gentleman like you?
No servant girl has ever put me on my back before.
Put me on my back. This is an informal way to say someone knocked you down or defeated you in a fight. Michael is impressed that a servant girl could fight so well. Let's continue watching this dialogue.
You're far from ordinary, and neither is your employer.
Oh. So the flowers have something to do with Mr. Holmes.
You have that American way of getting right to the point.
Getting right to the point. Perfect phrase for business English. This means speaking directly about the main topic without wasting time on small talk. Americans are often said to get right to the point in conversations.
You have that American way of getting right to the point.
And you have a way of not answering direct questions. Why do you need my help? How does it involve my employer?
A few years ago, Mr. Holmes helped put a famous criminal, Professor James Moriarty, behind bars.
Behind bars, another way to say in prison. The bars are the metal bars on prison cell windows. So if someone is behind bars, they're locked up in jail.
You ever heard of him?
No. But I've only started working for Mr. Holmes recently.
Oh? And what's he like?
But I'm no spy, Mr. Wiley.
I think spying's an ugly word. And I'm not interested in his personal habit.
Interesting. Michael says he's not interested in Holmes's personal habits, but then what is he interested in? Let's keep watching to find out what he really wants from Amelia.
What are you interested in then?
Your employer's relationship to Professor Moriarty.
But I don't want to talk about him behind his back.
Who doesn't talk about their boss behind his back? I only wonder if Mr. Holmes intends to accuse Professor Moriarty of more crimes.
Accuse means to say that someone is responsible for a crime, or for having done something wrong.
If you could find out, I'd be very grateful. I would pay a full £1 for your trouble.
It's a lot of money. How do I get in contact with you?
I'll wait for you tomorrow, and every day after that.
A full £1. Remember, this story happens long ago, when money was worth much more. No wonder Amelia is interested.
At Mrs. Bailey's tea house on Park Road at 4 p.m, just in case you learned something. 5 shillings extra for meeting me tomorrow. And to put some butter on the bacon, I'll even plunk down for tea.
Put some butter on the bacon. What a fun expression. This means to make a good deal even better, like adding butter to already delicious bacon. Michael is saying he'll make his offer even more attractive by paying for tea too.
I'll think about your offer, Mr. Wiley. Thank you for the flowers and for not shooting me in the head.
Maybe I shouldn't say so, Miss Rojas, but it is such a lovely head. I'm glad my gun wasn't loaded. Until tomorrow then.
Good job watching and learning today. Keep practicing. See you next lesson.